he really had a good run of it, didn't he? God really used him. And so God is encouraging here, telling him to be strong and be of good courage. He says, "For unto the people shall thou divide an inheritance the land, which I swear unto them, their fathers, to give them." And then verse 7 again, "Only be strong and be very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest." Now, we're talking about Moses and miracles and things like that, but there's also another aspect in this. You think of the time before you got saved, or if you're not saved, you may be in church, or you may be guided by the principles of conscience. Your conscience says, do right, don't do wrong. Or society has laws out there that say, if you murder somebody, you're going to pay for it one way or the other. Jail, or if you're in Texas, you might get executed. So there's all these kind of things that kind of govern. And before we were saved, I would think back over my life when I was saved. Eventually I was in church, and I was taught, the Sunday school lessons, and taught, the 10 Commandments. But I was not saved. So in a real sense, the law was kind of leading me to that point, letting me, giving me the understanding, enlightening me to say, there is wrong and there is right. Amen. And in myself, I had to come to the realization that I couldn't live up to it. Because Jesus said, if you have murder in your heart, if you think hatred towards someone, and then the opportunity would have been right, you could have murdered them. And so you're as guilty as if you pulled out the knife or the gun or whatever. So it leads you to that point. Where am I going to? You'll see in a minute. But so too in church, you go to church and it kind of leads you there. And at some point in time, I gave my life to Christ. I know when and where and how old I was. But it led me to that. But the commandments of God, and this in the real sense was God used Moses to lead his people up to this point. He delivered them out of Egypt, but they had no idea where they were going. Oh, the promised land, yeah. Didn't he tell them? He said, the land that flows with milk and honey and all these great things, where I'm leading you to a promised land. But so it is too with our experiences. We know of a certainty that Christ is our salvation, that He is the author and finisher of our faith, that He is who we draw our strength from. And so too it is with Joshua here, or the people of God, the Israelites, that God had led them up to this point and now is getting ready to lead them into the promised land. And there were going to be a few battles yet, and that's why they needed courage. And to break the word courage down a little bit, there's two things that I really liked about, and this is not Webster's definition, but this is you take it at the Hebrew Concordance, and courage says to be alert, number one, and secondly, to be steadfastly minded. So what was he telling Joshua? Joshua, you need to be alert. You need to have your mind in the right place. Amen? To be alert. And so oftentimes that the devil will sneak up, or the flesh will sneak up because we weren't alert. All of a sudden it pops up. And we have to be alert. So he's telling Joshua, be alert. Secondly, he said to be steadfastly minded. How many of us are steadfastly minded today? Steadfastly minded means you have set your mind, amen, on a particular thing, or you set your mind in a particular direction, and that you're willing to do whatever it takes, amen, that you're going to meet that, amen, that you're going to achieve that goal, that you're going to keep your mind in that direction. You steadfastly set your mind. Again, it's so easy to get caught up in what I have to do today, or what the business demands, or what my job demands, or what, as head of the household, what my family needs today. But we have to have that steadfast mind that says, what does God need today? What does Jesus need me to do? Or what is he speaking to me today? What is he saying? Is he saying that I need to cut this out, or take this, or change this, or change that? Amen? What is it? It doesn't really make a difference what he says. If we are of good courage, if we're alert, and secondly, if we're steadfast of mind, that we've set our mind, amen, to achieve the goal, amen, to win the race, amen, to achieve the fullness of Jesus Christ. Not just eternity, which is great, amen, but now in this time that we can achieve all his fullness, that we can achieve the greatness of his Spirit, living, dwelling, using us, amen, as his vessel. But he says to be alert and to be steadfastly minded. He wanted Joshua to be alert. There was quite a few people he was leading, and that things needed to be done. If you look and read throughout Joshua, they came across different things. At times they were defeated. They got defeated. And at times they had great victory in their life. But Joshua, God continually from the beginning encouraged Joshua to be strong, in other words, to be alert, and to keep your mind set. Amen? Set on the prize, set on the goal. So he said to be alert and to be steadfastly minded. Psalm 27:14 says that wait on the Lord and be in good courage. I find that that's where the greatest encouragement comes, is by waiting on the Lord. Now, I have